Halloween night had always held a special place in my heart. The thrill of costumed trick-or-treaters, the flickering jack-o'-lanterns, and the spooky tales around the campfire were all part of the magic. But this Halloween, a sinister force would shatter that magic and plunge me into a nightmare unlike any other. As darkness settled over the neighborhood, I decided to indulge my love of the supernatural by delving into the darkest corners of the internet. The notion of the dark web had always intrigued me, and what better night to explore its mysteries than Halloween? With an air of anticipation and trepidation, I sat in front of my computer, my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. After bypassing layers of encryption and hidden links, I found myself in a place I had never imagined existed, a virtual realm known as the Midnight Nexus. It was a sinister playground for the most sinister of desires. The site's interface was sleek and shadowy, with a single ominous message: the Midnight Nexus, where fears become reality. Intrigued, I delved further into the abyss. The homepage offered a choice of experiences, chilling scenarios, and immersive narratives that promised to awaken the deepest fears and desires. The instructions were clear: choose an experience, pay the price, and await the arrival of a mysterious guide who would orchestrate the nightmarish journey. Curiosity got the better of me, and I selected an experience titled The Haunting Hour. The description was vague yet tantalizing, promising a night of terrifying apparitions and heart-stopping suspense. I paid the price, and an eerie message appeared on the screen: your guide is on their way. With a shiver running down my spine, I left my computer and sat in the dimly lit room, waiting for this strange guide to arrive. The clock ticked away and the air grew colder, the shadows deepening. The sound of footsteps echoed from the hallway, and I held my breath. A figure appeared in the doorway, cloaked in darkness, their face obscured by a hood. Their voice was a chilling whisper: "Welcome to the Haunting Hour, where your deepest fears become reality." My guide led me into a virtual realm where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural began to blur. I found myself in an old, decrepit mansion, each creaking floorboard and flickering candle adding to the eerie ambiance. My guide's whispered instructions grew increasingly ominous, urging me deeper into the darkness. The rooms of the mansion were filled with sinister apparitions, each more terrifying than the last. Ghostly figures whispered warnings and threats, and their cold, skeletal hands reached out to touch me. As the night wore on, I felt a growing sense of dread, unable to distinguish between the real and the virtual. The walls seemed to close in around me, and the apparitions grew more relentless in their pursuit. I finally reached a room at the heart of the mansion, where a mirror stood in eerie isolation. My guide's voice whispered, "Face your deepest fear, for this is your only escape." As I gazed into the mirror, I was confronted by a reflection of my own greatest fear, a grotesque, monstrous version of myself, twisted and deformed by terror. The room spun, and the mirror seemed to pull me in, the line between the virtual and the real becoming indistinguishable. With a jolt, I found myself back in my dimly lit room, my guide gone, and the computer screen now displaying a single message: "You've seen your deepest fear. Now it's time to live it." I was paralyzed with fear, unable to distinguish between the real and the virtual. The room had changed, my surroundings a nightmarish replica of the mansion I had just left behind. The apparitions were no longer confined to the screen. They were all around me, whispering, reaching out to touch me. I tried to flee, to escape from the relentless onslaught of my own fears. But the mansion seemed to stretch endlessly, its room shifting and contorting, trapping me in an unending nightmare. As the night wore on, the apparitions grew more sinister, their threats and warnings becoming more intense. I was no longer sure what was real and what was a manifestation of the virtual world. The line between reality and the supernatural had blurred, and I was trapped in a waking nightmare. With each passing hour, I could feel my sanity slipping away. The apparitions grew more malevolent, their cold, skeletal hands closing in around me. I couldn't escape, couldn't find a way out of the nightmarish mansion that had become my prison. The morning sun finally broke through the darkness, and I found myself back in my own room, the computer screen dark, But the horrors of that night still lingered, a chilling reminder that some journeys into the dark web lead to places where reality and nightmares become one. Halloween had come and gone, but the haunting experience of the haunting hour would stay with me forever. I had always been drawn to the darker corners of the internet, seeking out the unusual and the unsettling. Little did I know that my curiosity would lead me down a path I could never have anticipated, especially on Halloween night. It was the eve of All Hallows' Eve, and a sense of foreboding seemed to hang in the air. I decided to do some online research on the mysterious and uncharted realm of the dark web. My interest in the strange and macabre had led me here before, but I had never delved too deeply. Tonight, though, I felt compelled to explore the hidden recesses of the internet that most people dared not tread. I sat alone in my dimly lit room, the soft glow of my computer screen casting an eerie light. My fingers danced across the keyboard as I navigated through layers of encrypted websites, my heart pounding with both excitement and trepidation. Each site I visited was like stepping into a virtual house of horrors, filled with the bizarre and the grotesque. As I clicked on one particular link, a chilling sensation washed over me. The page was dark, the background a deep shade of black, and the text appeared in an eerie blood-red font. The site was called The Midnight Carnival. I couldn't resist the lure of such a sinister-sounding place. The homepage displayed a single image, a sinister, grinning clown with bloodshot eyes and a wicked grin. The clown's face seemed to mock me, its gaze following my every move. The text below the image read, "Welcome to the Midnight Carnival, where your darkest desires become reality." I navigated further, and the site was filled with descriptions of bizarre and terrifying experiences. Users could request personalized horrors, from cryptic puzzles to unsettling interactive games, all masked in a shroud of anonymity. The cost? A price that couldn't be measured in money. With a morbid curiosity, I decided to enter a chat room called The Abyss. It was here that I would uncover a chilling tale that would haunt my every thought. The chat room was filled with a mix of cryptic usernames and disturbing profile pictures. A user named Crimson Mask caught my attention, and I initiated a conversation. "Hey, what's the spookiest thing you've experienced on this site?" I typed, not sure what to expect. A reply came quickly. The Midnight Carnival delivered something I'll never forget. An immersive experience that transcended the boundaries of reality, but I can't share it here. I'll meet you at the stroke of midnight in the place where nightmares become real. My heart raced as I accepted the invite to a private chat room. "What do you mean by where nightmares become real?" The response was cryptic. "You'll see for yourself soon." As the hours ticked away, I couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of dread. What was I getting myself into? I had always been fascinated by the bizarre and the unsettling, but this felt different, more ominous. At the stroke of midnight, I entered the private chat room. Crimson Mask was there, and they wasted no time in getting to the point. The Midnight Carnival is no ordinary site. It delivers on its promises, but at a cost. It taps into the deepest, darkest fears and desires of those who visit. The experiences it offers are not for the faint of heart. My curiosity was piqued, but my trepidation grew. "What did you experience?" I asked. Crimson Mask's reply was chilling. "I won't share the details, but I'll tell you this. I've been haunted ever since. The line between reality and nightmares has blurred. Every shadow, every sound feels like a twisted echo from the Midnight Carnival." The words sent shivers down my spine. I couldn't help but wonder what I had gotten myself into. "Is there a way out of this nightmare?" Crimson Mask's response was ominous. "I don't know. Some say once you enter, you can never truly leave. The Midnight Carnival has a way of ensnaring your soul." As the conversation ended, a chilling realization washed over me. I had ventured into a world of darkness and despair, and now I was entangled in a sinister web from which there might be no escape. As days turned into weeks, I began to notice unsettling changes in my life. Shadows seemed to move on their own, and eerie sounds echoed through my home. The line between nightmares and reality blurred, just as Crimson Mask had warned. I couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent was watching me, waiting to claim me as its own. I had ventured too far into the darkness of the dark web, and the midnight carnival had become a nightmarish reality. Halloween had come and gone, but the horrors I had uncovered persisted, a chilling reminder that some secrets were never meant to be uncovered. My only hope now was to find a way out of this virtual house of horrors and break free from the sinister grip of the midnight carnival before it consumed me completely. Halloween night was approaching, and I found myself craving a unique thrill. My fascination with the enigmatic dark web had led me down countless rabbit holes of intrigue. But this Halloween, the dark corners of the internet beckoned me like never before. I knew it was a risky endeavor, but the allure of the unknown was too tempting to resist. Sitting in my dimly lit room, the soft glow of the computer screen casting eerie shadows, I took a deep breath and delved into the murky depths of the dark web. My heart raced as I navigated through layers of anonymity and encryption, finding myself in a realm known only as the obsidian enigma. The obsidian enigma was a site like no other, a digital haven for those seeking to uncover the mysteries of the darkest kind. Its homepage featured an unsettling image of an ornate, ancient key, its intricate design speaking of hidden secrets and enigmatic pathways. I was intrigued by the promise of a cryptic journey, and I clicked on an enticing link that read, "Unlock the unknown, explore the enigma." The text below simply stated, "Follow the path and reveal what is hidden." With a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, I embarked on the enigmatic journey, aware that there was no turning back. The site led me through a series of puzzles, riddles, and cryptic codes, each one more challenging than the last. It was a test of wits, a journey into the unknown, and I felt like I was unraveling the secrets of a digital labyrinth. As I delved deeper, the journey took on a surreal quality. The room around me began to shift and transform, its boundaries becoming fluid like a dreamscape. The boundaries between the digital world and reality seemed to blur, and I felt as if I were walking through an ever-changing dreamscape. It was in this surreal landscape that I encountered the guide, a shadowy figure with a featureless face. The guide's presence was both enigmatic and unsettling. Their voice whispered like a ghostly breeze, guiding me through the twists and turns of the digital maze. "The enigma reveals what is hidden," the guide whispered, their words sending shivers down my spine. "But beware, for the answers you seek may be more than you can bear." I couldn't help but wonder about the true nature of the obsidian enigma. Was it a puzzle, a game, or something more sinister? The guide offered no answers, only leading me deeper into the enigmatic realm. As the night wore on, I continued to unlock the secrets of the obsidian enigma, each revelation more cryptic and unsettling than the last. The enigma seemed to take on a life of its own, with the room around me shifting and distorting, as if reality itself was unraveling. I was consumed by the enigma, unable to distinguish between the digital and the real. The puzzles grew increasingly surreal, and the room around me seemed to shift and twist like a living, breathing entity. I could feel the presence of something watching me, something ancient and malevolent. As the enigma unfolded, I was faced with a final, chilling revelation. The answer to the enigma was a mirror, a reflection of my own deepest fears and desires. It was as if the obsidian enigma had delved into the darkest recesses of my mind, revealing my innermost secrets. I stared into the mirror, my own reflection twisting and contorting, revealing the darkness within. It was a revelation that shook me to my core, and I felt a sense of dread like never before. The room around me seemed to collapse in on itself, and I was plunged into a nightmarish dreamscape. Reality and illusion became one, and I could no longer distinguish between the digital and the real. The enigma had become a living nightmare, a journey into the darkest corners of my own mind. As Halloween dawned, I found myself back in my dimly lit room, the computer screen dark. The journey into the obsidian enigma had left me shaken, my mind haunted by the revelations it had unearthed. The line between the digital and the real had been irrevocably blurred, and the secrets it had revealed would continue to haunt me. The allure of the dark web had taken me to a place where reality and nightmares became one, and I was forever changed by the enigmatic journey into the obsidian enigma. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.